The main question everyone asks is what makes a turret a bad turret in Tanki Online? Well, there are 3 factors that come into it: playability, range, and damage. Now, these 3 factors can make or break a turret in Tanki Online. And to answer this main question, I'm going to be talking about why nobody plays Isida in Tanki Online. Now, before I do start this video, please do not send me any screenshots of you getting first place with Isida. I know any turret is good if you know how to play with it, but this turret in specific is much harder to do. Let's first talk about what Isida does overall. Isida is the only turret in Tanki Online that heals your allies. And it's also the only close range weapon that only single targets, meaning that you're only allowed to shoot one enemy at a time, while Firebird, Freeze, and Tesla, you're allowed to hit multiple enemies at one time. And that directly puts Isida at a disadvantage. Let's begin with talking about what makes Isida so bad overall. The first thing you'll notice is that Isida has somewhat of a decent damage, actually 3rd highest DPS within the first 3 close range turrets, but it has the worst reload rate of any turret in Tanki Online. And also, did I already mention only shooting one enemy at a time? Now that's just the tip of the iceberg. The range, since it's a close range weapon, the only way you could do damage to enemies is by getting close. Now you have to keep in mind that you're factoring in other close range turrets like Firebird, Freeze, and Tesla, which would clearly get outplayed in a 1v1. The second thing that's really important is that, well, Isida has no good augments. All of the augments that are so-called legendary are mostly either support, and if there are a damage, it's so bad that it's not even worth using. You're better off using the self-regeneration after you kill an enemy augment. I'll post that up on screen. You're better off using that because, well, it does use a little bit more energy than normal. At least after you do kill an enemy with it, you're immediately shooting right after, allowing you to have no reload overall. Moving on to my third point why nobody uses Isida is because, well, it sucks at healing. Its main gimmick is healing, and it also sucks at that. The main reason is because it completely gets outplayed from Thunder nanobots and Shaft nanobots as well. Some people might argue that Isida's healing is very, very good. Now, I would kind of agree, but the main problem comes to points. Now, when you do heal allies with Isida, since it's only a single target, well, totally not, like the other healing augments as well are single target, but this one in specific doesn't give you much score. Compared to healing emitters and Thunder nanobots, Isida's healing gives nothing for score. If you're playing with one of those 2 augments, you could easily score over 1000 per game. And did I also mention it's completely not rewarding when you do heal your allies, because majority of your allies are noobs anyways, so healing them would be kinda useless. As of right now, that's the only things I've noticed. If you're more than welcome to mention more in the comments down below. And finally, last but not least, let's talk about how we could fix this turret and make it somewhat better in the Tanki Online meta. Now, the first thing I'll immediately fix is the reload. The reload time's crazy long, so immediately either half it or make it close to what Firebird or Freeze has. And I think the second thing that is very, very important is maybe increasing the damage by another 10 or 15% to make it somewhat comparable with Freeze and Firebird. You also have to keep in mind that Isida only allows 1 target at a time. Now, a lot of people have asked for maybe a possible Isida augment that is kind of similar to Vulcan Explosive, but that would kind of make the turret a little way too broken, so maybe that's just not a good idea. But I generally feel like a turret should not be in the meta just because an augment makes it really, really OP. You could say why Hammer has always been in the meta since all of its augments are pretty broken, same with Striker or Shaft. But anyways, this basically wraps up my video for why I think nobody uses Isida. You're more than welcome to express your feelings once again in the comments down below. As for always, I'll see you guys all in another video. This is Hockey signing off. Goodbye.